Okay, so animal chiropractic care. Have you ever seen, like, a horse getting adjusted?
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
It makes you wonder, like, wait, they do that for animals.
Oh, absolutely.
So in this deep dive, we are going to unpack this entire field,
Yeah.
what it is, how to get into it, and what it's really like to work on everything from pups to ponies.
And you are in the right place for it, believe me. We've got the x-rays, we've got case studies. I think we've got enough information here to satisfy even the most curious cat, or human for that matter.
You're telling me. All right, so before we go full on Grey's Anatomy for animals here, let's start with the basics. What exactly is animal chiropractic care?
Okay?
Because I think when some people hear that, they might picture, someone cracking a dog's back, which, knowing my pup, might be more of a wrestling match than anything.
Yeah, right. It's definitely not a free-for-all.
Okay.
It's a branch of animal health care that focuses on the relationship between the spine and the nervous system.
Oh.
So you can think of it this way. If there's a misalignment, it can throw the whole system out of whack, leading to pain, discomfort, even problems with movement.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay. So it's really about restoring balance within the body.
exactly. Yeah.
But, and this is key for me, it's not about replacing traditional vets, right? It's more like a tag team.
You got it. Animal chiropractors work hand in paw, so to speak, with veterinarians.
Okay.
They respect diagnoses, legal boundaries, and it's all about like a team approach to animal well-being.
Got it.
It's about giving pet owners more options and really finding what works best for their furry, scaly, or feathered friends.
Okay, so let's say I'm picturing a day in the life of an animal chiropractor. Am I scrubbing into surgery? Am I hanging out in a spotless clinic? Or are things getting a little more, shall we say, down and dirty?
Yeah, you'd be surprised by the variety. You could find yourself in a bustling veterinary clinic one day, the next you're out on a farm, or even making house calls to someone's pet pig.
Okay, a pet pig getting adjusted in their living room. I already know this deep dive is going to be a visual one. But seriously, that range of environments, the types of animals, it sounds incredibly rewarding, but also pretty demanding, right?
You hit the nail on the head. It's not all, fluffy bunnies and purring kittens, though
Yeah.
there's certainly a lot of that. You're dealing with animals of all shapes and sizes, some with a bit more personality than others. So you got to be comfortable with the physical demands, the lifting, the positioning, and yes, sometimes the not so pleasant smells that come with the territory.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. It's a labor of love. Not just love for animals in general, but a love for all the messy realities that come with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just about physical strength either. Understanding animal behavior is crucial.
So you're not just treating the animal's body, you're also tuning into their emotional state, their anxieties, their limits. It's almost like being an animal whisperer, but with chiropractic skills.
You're getting the idea. You have to read their cues, know when they're stressed or uncomfortable, and adjust your approach accordingly. Sometimes that means knowing when to back off, when to reschedule, when to just let the animal lead. It's about earning trust, not forcing it.
That level of sensitivity is incredible. It sounds like a career where you never stop learning, both about the science and the art of working with animals.
Speaking of learning, let's talk about how technology is changing the game. We're even seeing laser therapy used more and more.
Okay.
Imagine being able to reduce inflammation in an arthritic dog's joints using targeted light beams.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty remarkable.
Wait, hold on. Laser beams. Tell me more about that, because now we're getting into like superhero territory.
Yeah, so imagine like a focused beam of light, right? And it's targeting those specific areas where the inflammation is causing the pain, causing the stiffness.
Okay.
It's non-invasive, it's relatively quick, and a lot of animals tolerate it really well.
Okay, that is officially on my list of things that sound like science fiction, but are actually real.
I know, right?
So, all right, let's shift gears a bit, though. For our listener who's now seriously considering this as a career path, what are the pros and cons they should be thinking about?
Well, from where I sit, there's a lot to love about this field.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the freedom of, setting your own hours, being your own boss,
Right.
and waking up every day excited to work with animals.
Yeah.
Not to mention the incredible fulfillment that comes from improving an animal's well-being.
Yeah.
Seeing a dog go from like hobbling to happily chasing squirrels.
Yeah.
I mean, that's job satisfaction you can't beat.
It really is such a blend of passion and purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But you mentioned from where you sit, which makes me think there's got to be another side to this coin.
Mhm.
What are some of the challenges that someone should be prepared for?
Of course, yeah. No job is perfect.
Yeah.
Animal chiropractic care is no exception.
Yeah.
For starters, the training is rigorous. You're looking at a doctor of chiropractic degree, which is no walk in the park.
Okay, so we're not talking like a weekend seminar and you got a certificate on the wall. This is serious commitment.
Absolutely, yeah. And then, there are the physical demands that we talked about. You're on your feet a lot, sometimes dealing with large or unpredictable animals.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your client base, you might have long or irregular hours, especially if you're making house calls or working with farm animals.
Right, I can see how you could be drawn to the flexibility, but you also have to be realistic about, okay, there could be some long days and some last-minute calls.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so knowing the challenges, what does it actually take to become an animal chiropractor? What does the educational path look like?
Well, as I mentioned, a doctor of chiropractic degree is non-negotiable. That's the baseline.
Mm-hmm.
But what's interesting is you can come to this field from different academic backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
A bachelor's degree in, say, veterinary medicine, animal science, even biology can give you a solid foundation.
So you could be like a vet tech who discovers chiropractic care, or someone who has always just loved animals and decides to merge that with healthcare.
Exactly. And it's not just about like memorizing textbooks either.
Right.
Critical thinking is crucial. You're constantly assessing, problem solving, tailoring your approach to each individual animal.
It's almost like being like an animal detective in a way,
Yeah.
looking for clues, like piecing together the puzzle of their discomfort.
I like that analogy. You need to be observant, you need to be able to think on your feet, and of course, communicate effectively.
Communication. The key to any good relationship, human or animal.
And you need it for both. You're not just communicating with the animal through, touch and observation, but also explaining sometimes complex concepts to their humans, putting them at ease, working together to create a treatment plan.
Right, you've got to be fluent in dog, cat, horse, and worried pet owner, right?
Yes, exactly.
But let's say someone's got the passion, the dedication, the academic chops. What's the best way to get their foot in the door?
Hands-on experience is invaluable. Think internships at veterinary clinics, rehab centers, even animal shelters. And don't underestimate the power of shadowing experienced chiropractors.
Right.
Seeing firsthand how they handle different animals, different situations.
It's like an apprenticeship in a way, absorbing all that knowledge, that experience from someone who's been in the trenches.
Exactly, yeah.
And what about certifications? Are there any in particular that signal to potential employers or clients like, hey, I'm the real deal?
Absolutely. Certifications demonstrate your commitment to the field and your dedication to ongoing learning, which is so important. The kind of gold standard is the Certified Veterinary Chiropractor, or CVCP designation.
Okay.
This is awarded by the American Veterinary Chiropractic Association, or AVCA.
So if you see those letters after someone's name, you know they've met like rigorous standards. It's kind of like the black belt of animal chiropractic.
Exactly, yeah, you can think of it that way.
What are some other organizations that aspiring animal chiropractors should know about?
Another big one is the International Veterinary Chiropractic Association, or IVCA. They also offer a well-respected certification program. Both the AVCA and IVCA are great resources for continuing education. Staying up to date on the latest research, networking with other professionals.
So it's not enough to just get your degree and hang up a shingle. Like, this is a field where you have to be continuously learning.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So let's say someone has the education, they've got the experience, they've got the certifications. What does their actual career trajectory look like?
Well, like any profession, you typically start at an entry-level position, right? This could involve assisting more experienced chiropractors, following strict protocols, observing treatments, and basically just soaking up as much knowledge as possible.
Okay.
It's a period of like intense learning and skill building.
So you're the eager understudy. You're the Robin to their Batman, You're the trusty sidekick just learning the ropes.
Exactly. Yeah.
What comes after that?
So as you gain confidence and experience, you'll transition into more of a junior role, taking on more responsibility. This is where your communication skills really come into play, as you'll be interacting more directly with clients, explaining treatment plans, addressing their concerns.
Okay, so still a lot of learning, but now with a bigger emphasis on that client interaction, that communication. So it sounds like those people skills are just as important as the technical ones.
100%, yeah. You need to be able to explain complex concepts in a way that makes sense to people who aren't chiropractors. You're building rapport, earning their trust. After all, they're entrusting you with the well-being of their beloved animal companions.
Right, huge responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so You've paid your dues, you've honed your skills, you've mastered the art of the client consult. What does it look like to reach like the top of the animal chiropractic ladder?
Eventually, you might reach this senior level. And this could mean different things to different people. Some people thrive on the independence of running their own practice, setting their own hours, building a client base through word of mouth. Others might find fulfillment working within a larger animal healthcare organization, collaborating with other specialists, having access to more resources.
So there's really no one-size-fits-all definition of success in this field.
Right.
It's about finding the path that aligns with your individual goals and preferences.
Exactly, yeah.
Whether that's the solo practitioner with their own clinic or, being part of a larger team, the possibilities are pretty exciting.
Exactly. And even within those paths, there's room for specialization, too. Some chiropractors focus on a specific type of animal, like horses or dogs. Others might specialize in a particular technique or area of the body.
It's incredible to think about, like, the breadth of this field. From the science to the artistry to the diverse range of animals, the different career paths, it's clear that a career in animal chiropractic care, it's more than just a job, it's like a calling. It really does, it seems like this career path would attract a special kind of person, someone with this deep love for animals, a thirst for knowledge, a willingness to kind of get their hands dirty, both literally and figuratively.
It's true. And as we've been discussing, it's not just about the animals either, right? That human connection, building relationships with the pet owners, witnessing their relief when their furry friend starts feeling better, that's incredibly rewarding.
Absolutely. It's a career with so much heart. But that makes me think about the other side of the coin. With those strong bonds you form, how do animal chiropractors handle the tough cases? The ones where they can't offer a miracle cure.
Yeah, that's a really important question and something anyone considering this field should definitely, reflect on because, as we've said, no job is perfect.
Right.
But with animal chiropractic care, those difficult cases can be particularly challenging, both for the practitioner and the pet owner.
So it's not just about celebrating the wins. It's also about knowing how to navigate those emotionally charged situations, those difficult conversations with pet owners who are, hoping for the best, but maybe facing a difficult reality.
Exactly. It requires empathy, compassion, and really clear communication. Sometimes it's about, managing expectations, helping pet owners understand that, yes, chiropractic care can be this powerful tool, but it's not a magic bullet.
It's about being honest and upfront while still offering support and exploring all the available options.
Right. And sometimes it's about knowing when to refer to another specialist, when to acknowledge the limits of your expertise and advocate for the animal's best interest, even if it means letting go of a case.
It sounds like those situations require a different kind of strength. The strength to have those tough conversations, to be present with someone's grief or frustration, to make difficult decisions.
It's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
But for those who are drawn to this field, who have that, deep well of compassion and that drive to make a difference in the lives of animals, it can be an incredibly rewarding and fulfilling path.
So for our listener who's been hanging on every word, soaking up all this info about animal chiropractic care, where does this leave us? What's the final thought we want to leave him with?
Well, if you're considering this career, remember, it's about so much more than just, manipulating joints and bones. It's about understanding this intricate connection between the body and the nervous system, mastering both the science and the art of healing, clear communication, deep empathy, and unwavering dedication to the well-being of animals.
It's about being a skilled practitioner, a compassionate listener, a trusted advisor, and sometimes even a shoulder to cry on. It's a challenging path, no doubt. But for those who are called to it, the rewards are immeasurable.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'd encourage your listener to keep exploring, keep asking questions, keep learning, because the world of animal chiropractic care is constantly evolving, and there's always something new to discover.
And who knows, maybe one day you'll be the one sharing your expertise, inspiring the next generation of animal chiropractors. Until then, keep that passion for animals alive. And thanks for joining us on this deep dive.